Well, Blade Gang, we've got a big one on the table today, at least the box, and the knife isn't that much smaller than the box. As you can clearly see, and by the way, welcome to OG Blade Reviews. Once again, I hope. We've got a Lon Humphrey custom knife on the table today. This came to me through Knives Ship Free. They also sell a lot of Bark Rivers. And I'm losing focus because the camera doesn't like the white on white here. Anyway, hopefully it can focus in on the logo there. So we've got a Lon Humphrey custom, made in the USA, hand forged by Lon. I'm going to have to keep my hand there apparently. Sorry about that. Hand forged by Lon in Ohio, as far as I recall. Quite a backstory to him. He uses a lot of local woods in his knives. They are all hand forged, most out of 51-200, or here I go again, 52-100, these numbers. A very tough steel that is very amenable, shall we say, to the forging process. And you're going to see that Lon, man, I better have some more coffee. There's a thank you card from him. You're going to see that Lon does some very special treatment to his knives. I should say he leaves them in a certain condition that will certainly let you know that they are a forged knife. There's a nice thank you card. And there is his, he is on Facebook. Brain's not connected to the jaw today, apparently. And LonHumphreyKnives.com is his website. So check him out. And he has got all kinds of models available at Knives Ship Free. I'll make sure you got the link to Knives Ship Free, to Lon's website, as well as to this particular knife. This is called the Gunfighter Bowie. It comes, first of all, in a sheath that, as far as I know, Lon himself makes. And it's a darn good sheath. It's nothing slap dab, nothing cheap. It's a pouch style sheath. I didn't realize that at first. Couldn't figure out why there was so much left over down in the sheath there, but it does tuck down into it and there are no straps. So here we go. Look at this. God. It is a gorgeous Bowie knife of his own design, and he does make a minigun, he calls it, which is more of a scaled down version of this. There's his stamped in name, and that is about it. You've got some forge scale, I believe it's called scale. It might be another name. As you know, or may know, I'm not real familiar with the forging process. Haven't done it myself, but I definitely respect what people like Lon are doing. So we've got this real interesting trailing point Bowie with a swedge that is not sharpened, but very close to it. I suppose you could if you wanted to. Comes out to a very thin point, and we've got some nice, I would call it brushed satin. And one interesting thing he does is the tang is high polished, top and bottom, right up into the finger choil there. And on this one we've got a red, I believe it's red and not orange, could be orange, spacer. One of the things the spacer does is provide kind of a absorptive layer or a stabilizing layer for the wood, keeping the wood from direct contact with the tang so that you over time do not get any checking or splitting of the wood, or at least get less of it. But look at this gorgeous ironwood. Now, this is one of the few woods that does not come from Lon's property, whereas many of the others, the burl woods and the maples and so forth that he puts on his knives, do come from his land where he has his forge. We've got a lanyard hole, and we've got 2 pins. I'm not sure what the pins are, whether they're steel or I think they're steel. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're steel. Getting a good strong draw from the magnet there. It is a big knife, and if you choke up, you got some great control in there. The balance is going to be right about where that choil is, or maybe back, back just a bit. So pretty good balance for a large knife. Thick stock as well. And that blade distal tapers down to a very fine point. And I haven't tried this, so I have no idea what we're talking about here for an edge. But, oh yeah, man. For a big knife, and it is piercy as well. For a big knife, that is quite the edge. Realize that with a knife this size, a Bowie knife this size, and we'll get some specs in a moment, you don't need a razor edge because you've got so much weight going behind those slashes and whatnot. I'm going to see if I can back out a little, probably not too much. Right about there, I think. Okay, so that I have my background covered. Let's get some measurements on it. And I'm going to need the tape because ruler is going to be too short. I got a 1-foot-long plastic ruler. It is 14 3/4 plus, almost 15 inches overall. The blade is 8.5 with a cutting edge of 7 3/4. These are rough measurements. As far as the thicknesses go, in millimeters, we've got a blade stock of 6.2 millimeters and a handle right in the middle there that's heavily contoured, 24.9, almost 25 millimeters. And inches, 0.24, almost a 1/4 inch. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, we'll call it a 1/4 inch. And that's 0.98, almost an inch. Yeah, 0.99. Yeah, we're going to call that an inch across. For you folder guys, and I'm getting the wrong damn piece of equipment out here. You folder guys, yeah, that's a thick handle, but a big old Bowie knife, that is not necessarily a thick handle. What do we got here? We'll start out with grams, why not? So the knife alone, without the sheath, yeah, this scale ain't gonna do it. So you know what I'm gonna do? I've got another scale. Yes, I do. Hang on. All right, let's get this heavy-duty postage scale in here. And I don't often use this except for weighing packages, and it's usually in pounds and ounces, and because we're way up there, it's going to be over a pound on this guy. What units do we have? Well, let's start off with ounces, in case I can't find it later. It's spinning around like spin the bottle, maybe. That is 1 pound, 3.9 ounces. Can you see that? If I lift it up, you won't be able to see that. But yeah, take my word for it. 1 pound, 3.9 ounces. Let's change the units to grams. 566 grams, you all. And we have kilograms. Yeah, we do. So in kilos, it's 0.56, over half a kilo. Good God. I'm not often using those measurements for knives. kilos. They use that for other stuff. All right, we got the thicknesses, we got the weight. It's just a beautiful knife. 52-100, and it is hand forged. I think he uses a power hammer to a degree, and then a hammer. And you know, Lon turns a lot of these out. If you check out my link I'm going to give you at Knife Ship Free, he's got a full catalog of knives out there. And when he posts stuff on Instagram and Facebook, he shows you a ton of knives. He's just going at this. He's a one-man factory practically. But as far as I know, it is only he. Let's compare this beast to one that I reviewed recently. And this is a production knife, but it's got a fair amount of hand work done on it. This is the Boker Arbolito El Gigante, made in Argentina. And this is from N695. When I did the review on this, I got a lot of guys poo-hooing the price and so on and so forth. Well, the price on this is going to get you with the ironwood handle just under $400, okay? The price on this guy, we're seeing it around $200 or a little over $200. So double the price for a custom knife, but you're getting a lot of really great custom workmanship on this guy here. I don't know how much is done by machine or CNC and how much is done by hand, but it is a very nicely done knife. And speaking of steels, I can't tell you much about 52-100. I'm sure you guys out there, many of you know more about it than I do. But when steel is properly heat treated and has a proper edge bevel and proper profiling, it can work as well as the higher end steels. Now this is a high carbon cold work steel as far as I know. Or maybe it's hot work since it is forged. You know, that's what I'm hearing from Laren Thomas, no less than Laren Thomas, posted something out there. Actually, it was a video that was put out by maybe, I can't tell you what group, I'm not sure. But I put a link out on my main page of my YouTube channel with that little clip of Laren Thomas talking about the fact that steel matters less than hardening and edge geometry. They also did a beautiful job on this leather. And one more, which I haven't shown too often since I got it. I did a review on this when it first came in. Morgan Cohen's Craft in Ontario, Canada. And this sheath, by the way, is also a work of art. This sheath comes from Ohio, from a great leather maker, Guster Leather. I mean, he's an artist. Because these knives from Cohen's Craft do not typically come with sheaths, so you got to spend a little extra. Nitro V on this, it's a stock removal process that Morgan uses, so we don't have any forging. So stock removal on this one, stock removal on this one. I brought it out because it's a Bowie, and it is a beautiful Bowie. It's what he calls his fullered Bowie. All bead blasted with a really nice brown micarta handle scales. So there you have a small segment of my growing Bowie collection. Let's put this guy back. If you're ever in need of a sheath, definitely get out there to Guster Leather. Really an amazing, wonderful guy too. A little bit of a backup on getting sheaths done. I mean, might be a month or two, but well worth it. Show you the sheath once again on the Gunfighter Bowie. I was surprised because really for under 400 bucks, and I know that's expensive for many of us. You're getting a very nicely done leather sheath that I haven't heard otherwise. It's likely Lon's handiwork. So, you know, as good as any, really. And got a loop there for your belt. There it is. Look at this guy. It is a heavyweight, blazingly sharp, piercy Bowie knife of his own design. You know, he may very well have used something as a starting point historically, I'm not sure. But the wood on this guy, just look at that ironwood. It's hard stuff too, and very stable. One of the reasons I chose the ironwood, and it's a bit more expensive than some of the other woods that are grown locally, but it is just dense, and it is a wood that's going to last as far as woods go. Of course, your resins and your polymers and your micartas and your G10s are going to be more stable over time, but they rarely have that kind of beauty. Right about now, you'll see my logo over there. Click on that if you haven't subscribed. I say this all the time, but I can use a few more subscribers. Come on and join the crowd, the growing crowd. OG Blade Reviews with you, and don't forget to come back. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Stay safe, guys.